Alright, so this is the 5th video in the Qigong Myths video series, and for some reason my marker just died. But anyways, basically this one we're going to explore the idea that you can't actually do Qigong. It's not something you actually do. People think, oh, I'm going to go to a Qigong class and do Qigong. Well, that's actually not correct. I realize I'm kind of splitting hairs here, but it goes back to what the actual word means. And it's actually really common sense. If you show up and say, oh, I'm doing Qigong, I do Qigong, you're basically saying, like, it would be like if you've never taken piano lessons and you show up on day one, you're like, oh, I'm going to play Franz Liszt interpretation of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. Pretty much everyone's going to be like, nah, I don't think that's possible. To believe that you're going to do that would be, everyone would probably be like, you're pretty crazy. You're really out of touch with reality. Or maybe you just don't even know anything about piano. You don't even know the first thing, and you maybe never even heard that song. So you're somehow just confused. And it's really a similar thing. To actually achieve gong of qi is something that is a skill, something that you have to do over a period of time, which requires a lot of things. And very few people even actually pull it off. Very few people on the planet, probably even at this point in history, could say they have gong of qi. But basically, you just have to understand this. It's like with anything in life. It's a skill. You don't show up on day one and be like, oh, I'm doing this, I got it. But unfortunately, this is what people do. Like, oh, well, I tried Qigong and it just didn't do anything. I didn't feel anything and didn't make sense. And then it's like, well, obviously, everything you do at first, you're not good at. You don't have the right mindset for it. You don't have the right body for it. You don't really even understand what you're doing or why you're doing it and trying to put things together. So obviously, it's not that good. So that's just kind of common sense and basic. It's the same thing with meditation. Like, literally no one is actually meditating because that word has a specific definition. And if someone is actually doing it, it means that all this other stuff has come before it. And then if someone's actually doing it, there's signs, there's symptoms, there's clear tests that can be taken, and there's clear indications and signs that a teacher can observe in that person. But everyone, obviously for a good reason, doesn't want to split hairs and actually use terms as what they actually mean, which to me is kind of confusing, but it's just one of those things. And it's a really important thing, an important part of understanding the mindset. And if you can actually understand the terms and what you're doing in a more accurate way, then probably what you do is going to be more correct, and your decisions are probably going to be a bit more informed. So hopefully that makes sense, and it's just a really huge misunderstanding, a big confusion, a big stumbling point, but again, it really just comes down to what the words actually mean. Not what did some random person in the last few years decide that it meant, but what does it actually mean from the people who used it in the original way, who coined it, who put it together, the actual traditions, the actual lineages that have people who actually had this, who actually had Gong of Qi. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that helps, and I will talk to you soon.